That was part one. We ended talking about negative interest rates spreading across the globe. Now let's move on to, well, actually, we touched on also on the inverted yield curve. Basically means that most of the time, the longer you go out in terms of investing in government debt, government bonds, treasuries, or whatever, you get a higher return on your money. Right now, you get no more than 2%, which is pretty pathetic. But now we have an inverted yield curve, which means some investors are actually noticing that you're getting a better return by investing in maturities that are less than 10 years. That typically precedes in a recession. Somewhere within a 6 to 12 month period is when you actually get your recession. Because this news is old, that time frame is reduced dramatically. Okay, let's move to the next chart, or indicator that we're in a recession, and then we'll talk about strategies to counter so you won't be affected as much as others. Purchasing Managers Index of Manufacturing Activity. Now, what does that mean and why is it important? In U.S., in the United States, Japan, and the Eurozone, you have you have a manufacturing sector, okay, that basically represents economic activity. Excuse the noise going on in your country. The various manufacturers are polled or surveyed every so often, and we try to gauge the level of activity or inactivity, if that be the case, and you try to get an idea whether or not things are improving or not. And lately, I think since the last, 2017, 18, 19, since 2018, the middle part of 2018, the Purchasing Managers Index of Manufacturing Activity has been declining substantially, and you can verify this on my website. You can clearly see that the activity is declining dramatically. And the name of this article on my website you want to look for is Bond Yield Plunge Confirms Imminent Recession. Again, Bond Yield Plunge Confirms Imminent Recession. Anyway, the Purchasing Manufacturers Index of Economic Activity does implicate that we have a problem in the manufacturing sector. If the manufacturing sector is not getting the demand for their products, then they don't typically put out the type of production. In other words, as a company, you don't make as many items. You can't crank out products if there's no demand for your product. So manufacturers start pulling back, and that's exactly what's been happening. That's a very good indicator, by the way. And I'll just throw in there the activity at the nation's ports, whether it be Long Beach or whatever, wherever they are, Long Beach, various ports throughout the United States, they have declining volumes as well. So unfortunately, we don't see the ships coming in, going out with the amount of tonnage that they normally do. In other words, the demand is not there to justify putting a lot of cargo on the ships to transport back and forth across the globe. So that's another indicator that I'll just throw in there. What else are we looking at? Spread between yield. Okay, that has to do with the... this is another chart you can look at. But basically it just confirms what I just said about the inverted yield curve. So we'll skip that one. You can see that on the website yourself. It's declining since 2017. Again, the yield has been dropping dramatically from 2017. So those are some of the primary indicators. Now, what can you do about it? Well, when you enter a recession, for those of you young people particularly who haven't got a chance to really be exposed to the turmoil associated with recessions, you always want to go into a recession lean and mean with as little debt as possible. That means your credit card bills have to be paid off. That means your retirement and savings accounts have to be topped up. That means your portfolios have to be diversified. I like cryptocurrencies. I think 5 or 10% of your portfolio. should have exposure to cryptocurrencies, with the primary one probably being Bitcoin. And then it doesn't hurt to take a look at Litecoin and maybe some Ethereum or some of the others. But definitely you want to overweight in Bitcoin. So, and get yourselves a spreadsheet. If you haven't already, get yourselves a spreadsheet. At the very top, put your income and then deduct all of your expenses from the income. And what you have left is your net. Your net tells you how good you're doing financially. Are you financially healthy or not? A lot of people, 80% of the population of the United States probably has like a negative number. So they're basically living beyond their means. In other words, when they get a paycheck, they never really pay off everything, all of their monthly obligations in a month. They're carrying over a number of different obligations. So that's not a very smart move. So get your spreadsheet. At the top, put your income, deduct all your expenses, get rid of the cable if you can, get rid of the constant trips to the restaurants and the Starbucks and all the frivolous things. Take a look at what you really need, because when you enter a recession, those are going to kill you. Those items are going to kill you. Again, top up those savings and retirement plans, and diversify your portfolios, and make sure that you have ample savings for emergencies. It doesn't hurt to have 3 months worth of savings for emergencies. The car will break down, people will get sick, things will happen, and if you aren't careful, you will be caught flat-footed. So, what else? Let's see. Besides getting rid of credit card debt, just make sure that you find where you're spending a lot of money. If you're shopping at grocery stores and such, where you're paying more money because whatever reason, then go to the big box stores. Go to your Walmarts and your Sam's Clubs and your Costco's, and start buying in bulk. Because if you can get 2-3 months worth of toilet paper or food items or toiletries from Costco, Walmart, Sam's Club or something, then that's much smarter as compared to paying a premium just to get maybe a week's worth of the same items. So look at your membership clubs. Consider making as many things as possible. If you can make, if someone in your household or yourself, if you can make your own foods, make your own lotions, detergents. Like my wife, she makes soaps, lotions, detergents, and soaps, and do more do-it-yourself stuff at home. For instance, and use your apps to find out where the cheap gas is and all that stuff. Minimize your daily travel, because oil is going to continue climbing upwards, and when you go into a recession, you don't want a very large gas expenditure every time you fill up your gas tank. You don't want to spend a lot of money on that. So that's one thing you want to take care of. And besides that, go to my website and take a look at this particular article and see if you could extrapolate from there some of the other helpful hints that we're talking about. Just type in retirement. If you're older, type in retirement. If you're younger, take a look at the FIRE program. Basically talks about a lot of young people are using this FIRE concept. I can't remember what it stands for, but you basically live very, very very much budget consciously, if that's a word. But you get rid of all frivolous items that you were spending money on. You basically saving every dime you can get your hands on. So anyway, take a look at that article. It mentions FIRE. If you can't find it, let me know, and I'll send you the link to it, and then you can take a look at what it's all about. But basically, people are paying attention to coupon saving, and they're recommending that you do the same. And that way, when we pull out of this recession, because recessions can drag on for months or years, No one knows for sure when you're going to pull out, and it could be a long, long time that you're going to be cutting back. So you don't want to be in a situation where you didn't have enough money, you didn't have enough resources put away. Anyway, we're going to wrap up this session, and again, I'm a big fan of the crypto space. Take a look at your diversification into the cryptocurrencies. Start learning about it, reading about it, go to meetups, talking about it. Diversify your portfolios and be prepared, okay? So this is Monty signing off, and we just wanted to give you a heads up and a strategy, cover some primary indicators, let you take a look at them, see for yourself, and discuss it with your peers, and try to strategize for the future of the upcoming recession, okay? Guys, have a great day, and we're going to talk to you later. Bye.